next comment comes from Disney fan 1955 saying, thanks. My question is, don't you think it is sad that it is getting too expensive for regular families to go to Disneyland? What are your thoughts, Mr. Vashkai, on that?
No, it's the world's most popular local theme park, right? It's people have been going to this place for so long and have had such access to it. It really is heartbreaking that access has to be limited in some way, but that's just the operational reality of it. That everybody wants to go there, and you can't have everybody going there. So it's, how do you regulate that out? One of the ways you do that is, via pricing, and I think it is unfortunate because if it wasn't as popular, the price wouldn't necessarily be as high. But we live in a time when Disneyland is like, one of the most popular theme parks on the West Coast, and you just have to, you have to make do with that, reality. So it is heartbreaking because, but Disneyland, I think even in Walt's day was a luxury item. There were, it was kind of the way it was. And I know Walt himself got criticism from how much he charged, in the theme park and all that. But it's like, hey, there's a lot to maintain here. We put on the best show possible. We give everything we can give. And it was kind of understandable from that viewpoint. But now it's kind of one of these things where it's like, you can't have the whole world coming in. So, what do we do? And it's, it really is unfortunate.
What do you think, Mr. Family Man?
Yeah, I mean, especially with all this going on now, if Disneyland Forward comes to fruition, expect the prices to go up even higher than they are now. So, I mean, if you want to look at the prices today, folks, take them while you can get them. Because, the second that Disney gets approved for this, they're gonna take it for what they can get and give it all the gusto. So, I mean, unfortunately, for how much money that Disney's going to have to be putting into this project, they're going to want to make their money back. And it's unfortunate, but we are Disney's revenue, us as the fans, buying tickets, dining on their property, purchasing merchandise, it all goes in the great bank of Disney. And, it's unfortunate because, as you both were saying, everybody and their grandmother wants to go to Disneyland or a Disney park for that matter. And it's just boiling down to the point of, can a regular day-to-day family of four, on a fixed income be able to experience a Disney vacation? And sometimes, in order for them to do so, they have to monetize of what they want to do, how much they want to do it for a certain length period of time. And I think that's kind of what at some point we all have to do. It's, you kind of have to pick and choose your battles, what you want to do. You can't have your cake and eat it. So it's unfortunate, but it's the way of the land now.
Yeah. Well, I want to know why you're giving me cake that I can't eat, George.
Yeah.
No, I completely.
Hey, you know what? You're lucky. You're lucky I'm giving you cake. You have Carl's Jr. So, I mean,
come on. Exactly. Right?
I completely agree. I mean, look, here's the thing. And I've said this on many, many videos. Like, it's a balancing act because, like, here's the thing. It's like people would complain when the prices are so high that they're pricing families out. But believe me, if it was $10 to get into Disneyland, and I'm exaggerating here, but I'm just kind of giving you kind of like an example. If it was super cheap to get into Disneyland and the Magic Keys were super cheap to get in, the crowding would be a major, major problem, like way worse than it is now. So Disney falls on one side of the trap or the other. Either they price it accordingly where they can keep, there's that barrier to entry where it mitigates the crowding, or they have it really cheap and the floodgates open and everyone comes in. But either way, no one's happy. Either it's too expensive and there's the average family can't afford it, or it's so cheap that everyone is here and it's a 9-hour wait for Peter Pan. So there's no real solution. I think people, both Disney and the fans, need to understand there has to be some sort of discomfort. Like, you're going to have to deal with some kind of thing you don't want to deal with. And that comes from that. I'm directing that both at Disney and the fans, because I just think there's not a perfect world where you can just have cheap passes, cheap magic keys. When you walk into the park, it's not crowded and everything is a 5-minute wait.
And then you have the people that say, well, if I just go to a regular amusement park, I don't have that issue.
Yeah.
You can't compare a regular amusement park to Disney. You just can, I mean, you can get so many people within an amusement park in each day, but I mean, this is a themed resort that people want to go to for a lengthy period of time. And that's even like what they did with the Dream Keys. They temporarily put them on hold. Why? So they can have a better way of controlling of how many people can get in the park at a time.
Right.
Yeah, and as we've found out, even with the reservation system, you're going to have to leave somebody out, right? I mean, you're going to have to, somebody's going to be on the outside looking in. So even a reservation system is not the kind of end all be all solution to this.